Hi, and welcome to the Meat Minute. I'm Stacy Zelli here at Purdue University, and in this video, we're going to talk about low temperature cooking. Low temperature cooking is when we're using cooking temperatures between 190 to 250 degrees. These are temperatures that are going to take quite a bit of time for our product to cook, and that's good because that's going to help us out with some of our kind of harder to eat products. So these are examples of some low temperature cooking. These are both pellet smokers. You could also think of like a crock pot or even an oven if you just turn it down low and have the temperature again below 250 degrees. What you're allowing to happen when we're at those lower temperatures, and generally in the presence of a little bit of moisture, is we're actually letting those low temperatures break down some of the proteins in our meat, and that's how we're going to end up getting things that pull apart nice and easy, like a pork brisket or pork butt or a beef brisket or even a pot roast that you've probably had out of your crock pot. Using those low temperature cooking methods are really great for products that we know are a little less user friendly. Things that are not inherently tender. As I mentioned, your roast, your larger roasts, your ribs, brisket, things like that are, again, if we were to just put them on a grill, we wouldn't really enjoy our eating experience. So using those lower temperatures helps us improve the quality of our product. Now, whenever it comes to smoking, and we'll use brisket or ribs as an example, whenever it comes to smoking, there's a really nice, simple program that you can use in order to make sure you get an enjoyable experience every time. For the first 4 hours, you're going to want to have your product open and exposed to the smoke or grill or whatever you may be using in order to get your low temperature cooking. What will happen in those 4 hours is you're going to create a crust on the outside because it's going to dry out. You're going to get a nice crust, and you're also going to be able to start adding the smoke flavor if you are, in fact, using a smoker. What you want to do during that first 4 hours, though, is about every 30 to 60 minutes, you want to use a spray bottle or spritz a little bit of apple juice or au jus, or there's all kinds of variations of mixes that you can put on the surface, and that's going to help create a nice crust, and again, it's going to help that smoke come in and adhere to your product. After those 4 hours, to be honest with you, most of the smoke you're going to get on that product has already been attached. You can continue smoking it if you want, but you've kind of already got most of it there. So what you can do is what's known as the Texas crutch. And that's where you're basically going to take that product, add a little bit more liquid, and wrap it in foil. And when you wrap it in foil, that's going to actually help keep some of those juices in your product. That next step of wrapping it in foil, or again, our Texas crutch, takes a little bit more time. It's usually going to be another 4 to 6 hours, depending on the size of the product. If you're talking about ribs, those are smaller, so you can maybe only 4 hours. A brisket, or again, a pulled pork butt, that's going to be about another 4 hours. So you've had 4 hours on the grill or on the smoker, letting it attach, 4 hours to 6 hours in foil. And then we're going to want to pull it off and allow for a rest time. Now, if you remember from our high temperature cooking video, we talked about only having about 5 to 10 minutes of rest. With a slow cooked item, you're going to want a little bit more rest. You generally want to have about 30 to 60 minutes to let that product continue out its cook cycle and just let it rest. Having the foil open, and again, that's going to let it kind of dry off a little bit on the surface. So then you're ready to dig in. So again, low temperature cooking is a great way to add flavor, to add juiciness, to add tenderness to your product. And again, it works really well with things like brisket, pulled pork, ribs, anything like that. They're a great method to use. So low temperature cooking can be really good. We just got to make sure we use the right cuts. We look forward to seeing you on another Meat Minute, where we'll talk about each of these individual pieces of equipment much more.